Hi, we meet again for another lesson. This is the SPM Trial Paper from the year 2020 and it is for English language. This is paper 1. Paper 1, the code is 1119/1 and this time we are discussing paper from the state of Pahang. So this is the question paper. And then today we are discussing directed writing. So section A, directed writing, 35 marks and time suggested 45 minutes. So this is the question. Your school recently organized a Say No to Plastic campaign. You have decided to write a letter to your friend to share information about what had taken place. So the first thing you need to know that the school organized campaign, it is Say No to Plastic. And then you have to write a letter to a friend. So these are the notes. Use the notes given below to write your letter. When was the campaign held? Who officiated the campaign? Reason why the campaign was important to be carried out at your school. Contributing factors to the plastic problem. Mass consumption of plastic. Effects on the environment, pollutes rivers and oceans, enters food cycle, and then you have to give one own idea, which is the effect. Ways to reduce plastic. Ways to reduce plastic use. Carry reusable shopping bag. Give one own idea, which is the way. Then activities. Poster drawing competition. Public speaking. Give one own idea, which is an activity. When writing the letter, you should remember to lay out the letter correctly. So you have address, greeting, closing, and others. Use and develop all the notes given. Give your own ideas when needed. Note: for your letter, you will receive up to 15 marks for the format and content points, and up to 20 marks for the quality of your writing. So we have your format. Format 1 is address, format 2 will be greeting, and format 3 will be your closing of the letter. So now this is the format. You must remember that the first is the address of the sender. So since it is an informal letter, you can write number 13 Jalan Duta, Taman Duta Utama, 70300 Seremban Negeri 9. Then you must have the date, 17 October 2020. So when you write the date, please spell the month in full. Then you have Dear Anita, which is the salutation. Make sure you write dear. Okay, dear is important. Then you have the first paragraph, which is the introduction, and you have the greeting there. So you can write hi, how are you, I hope, and then you can continue. After that, the second paragraph and maybe the third and the fourth are your content paragraphs. And next you have your conclusion. After the conclusion, you must write your sign off. You can sign off by writing your friend, and then you can write your name or put a signature there, Julie. So these are the details that you have to write so that you can get the right format for informal letter. Let's look at the contents. C1, when was the campaign held? C2, who officiated the campaign? C3, reason why the campaign was important to be carried out at your school. So these are the details. Then we have C4, mass consumption of plastic. This is the factor. And C5, pollutes river and ocean. So this is enter food chain and also own idea, the effect. So these are all effects. And then we have C8, carry reusable shopping bag, own idea. So this is ways to reduce. And then C10, poster drawing competition. C11, public speaking. And C12, own idea. So all three are activities. For paragraph 1, you must have the introduction, which is greet and reason for writing. So you have to write, how are you? I hope you are in the best of health. I'm writing this letter to share information about a campaign which my school organized recently in October. Say no to plastic. Or you can write, "Hi, I hope my letter finds you in the best of health. I'm happy that you have settled well in your new school. I'm writing this letter to share information about a campaign which my school organized recently in October. The campaign was Say No to Plastic." Now the third example, "Hi, I received your letter 2 days ago. How's life there? The reason I write this letter is to give you some information about a campaign. Recently, my school organized a Say No to Plastic campaign." So these are the 3 examples for the introduction paragraph. For paragraph 2, contents C1, C2 and C3. So C1, when was the campaign held, C2, who officiated the campaign, and C3, reason why the campaign was important to be carried out at your school. So let's look at the vocabulary first. The vocabulary: officiate. It is to be in charge of or to lead a ceremony or other public event. So there are 3 examples here. Let's look at the first 2. This campaign was held in my school on Saturday, 9 October 2020. The opening ceremony started at 9 a.m. and it was officiated by the principal. The reason it was important to carry out this campaign was because it is a non-biodegradable material. Plastic is not only harmful for our health, but also for the health of our environment. It is one of the major causes of environmental pollution. Second example, this campaign was organized on a weekend, Saturday the 9th of October. The state education officer officiated the campaign and he also gave a speech. The campaign was important as it would help to save our environment by creating awareness among the students and public on the dangers of expensive use of plastic. The school decided to hold the campaign on Saturday, 9 October 2020. It was a grand opening ceremony where all the school teachers and students gathered in the school hall for the event. At 9 a.m., the guest of honor, who was the chairman of the Parent-Teacher Association, officiated the campaign. This was followed by a choir performance and poem recital by some selected students. The campaign plays a significant role in creating awareness about the danger of plastic, as plastic pollution has become one of the most pressing environmental issues. For paragraph 3, we are using contents C4 and C5, mass consumption of plastic and pollutes rivers and oceans. So let's look at the vocabulary. Mass means involving a large number of people or forming a large amount, and consumption is the amount used or eaten. So let's look at, there are 2 examples here. Did you know that the main contributing factor to plastic problem is mass consumption of plastic? For more than 50 years, global production and consumption of plastic have continued to rise. This is because plastic is versatile, lightweight, flexible, moisture resistant, strong and relatively inexpensive. These are the attractive qualities that lead us around the world to such a voracious appetite and overconsumption of plastic goods. All over the world, the statistics are ever growing staggeringly. Tons of plastic is discarded every year, everywhere, polluting lands, rivers, coasts, beaches, and oceans. The main factor that contributes to plastic problem is mass consumption of plastic. The first synthetic plastic, which was produced in 1907, marked the beginning of the global plastic industry, and over the next 65 years, annual production of plastics increased nearly 204 to 381 million tons in 2015. This is roughly equivalent to the mass of 2/3 of the world population. Plastic that isn't recycled ends up in the landfill or dump sites. Plastic waste enters our environment, polluting our rivers and oceans and causing damage to our ecosystem where marine animals are especially at risk. Now we are moving on to paragraph 4, contents C6 and C7. C6 is enter food cycle, C7 is own idea, which is an effect. Before that, let's look at the vocabulary. We have microplastics. It means extremely small pieces of plastic that are harmful to the environment, formed when plastic waste material breaks down. And carcinogen means a substance that causes cancer. So let's look at the sample paragraph. In addition, plastic waste enters the food cycle. Animals carry microplastics in their bodies. When they are themselves eaten, those microplastics are also ingested. Since one animal eats another, microplastic can move through the food chain. With plastics that move through the food cycle, the attached toxins can also move and accumulate in animal fat and tissue. The toxins that are components of plastic are carcinogenic. Plankton, fish, and ultimately the human race through the food chain ingest these highly toxic carcinogens and chemicals. Another effect of plastic waste is plastic spoils our groundwater. There are thousands of landfills, and buried beneath each one of them, toxic chemicals from plastics. These chemicals drain out and seep into groundwater, flowing downstream into lakes and rivers. There are long-term risks of contamination of soils and groundwater by some additive and breakdown byproducts in plastic, which can become persistent organic pollutants. We are still doing paragraph 4, and then the contents are C6 and C7 enter food cycle and own idea, which is an effect. So let's look at this paragraph. Much of the plastic in our oceans is called microplastic, which is often too small to be seen with the naked eye. Microplastic can accumulate in fish, birds, and other marine life. Because they do not break down rapidly, the amount in the sea and fish will continue to accumulate, making the problem worse over time as plastic enters the food cycle. Furthermore, plastic is in our food, the water we drink, and the air we breathe. In fact, we are increasingly inhaling, drinking, and eating more and more plastic. Tap water is contaminated with plastic microfibers, and even bottled mineral water examined has 10 particles found per bottle. It is almost unavoidable. As we unscrew the plastic cap from a PET bottle, the friction alone releases plastic particles into the water. So the vocabulary here, first is accumulate, which means gradually increase in number or amount, and contaminate is to make something less pure or to make it poisonous. For paragraph 5, you have content 8 and 9. So content 8 is carry reusable shopping bag, and content 9 own idea, which is a way. So there are two examples here. Before that, let's look at the vocabulary, and the word is reusable. It means able to be used more than once. So let's look at the first example. There are various ways to reduce plastic use. First is to carry reusable shopping bag to reduce the impact of plastic bags on the environment. It's not news that single-use plastics like water bottles and shopping bags are crowding landfills and endangering wildlife. Another effective solution is to avoid single-use plastics such as drinking straws, plates, and cutlery. They do make our lives easier but seriously harm the planet. Let's look at another example. One of the ways to reduce use of plastic is to carry reusable shopping bag. If you go shopping, remember to take a cloth bag. We go to the supermarket at least once a week to fill up our fridges. If every time we go, we use reusable bags like cloth, string, or whisker, the health of our planet will improve. Next, replace plastic containers with glass or steel containers. When we buy food at the canteen during recess, we can bring our own stainless steel containers. Our health will improve as some of the plastic containers can release harmful substances. So the vocabulary here, reusable, which means able to be used more than once. For paragraph 6, we are using content 10, 11 and 12. So content 10 is poster drawing competition, content 11 public speaking, and content 12 own idea, which is an activity. So let's look at an example here. Several activities were organized during the campaign, such as a poster drawing competition, public speaking, and drama contest. The drawing competition was held in the computer laboratory, and the public speaking was in the library. The venue for the drama had to be in the hall, as there were 10 teams and some props were needed on the stage. The poster drawing competition was only open to the lower secondary students, and the prizes were book vouchers. For the public speaking contest, participants were given hampers. The champion would also represent the school for the state competition. The drama was the most popular activity as the hall was full. The audience was entertained by the variety of great performances of the actors. Let's look at another example for paragraph 6. Don't forget that we are using 3 contents, 10, 11 and 12. In the campaign, there were many activities carried out. The poster drawing competition was a great success as it attracted many participants. There was also a public speaking competition, which was held in the language laboratory. Another activity was a treasure hunt. The students were divided into several teams and they had to look for 15 clues to discover the treasure. The last clue led them to the grand prize of vouchers that they could use to purchase books. The prize-giving ceremony at the end of the campaign was full of anticipation. There were 10 winners for the drawing competition, and 3 students were selected by the judges for the public speaking contest. Now, we are doing paragraph 7, which is the closing. So remember, closing, you have to write your hope and also give a remark. There are a few examples here. That is all for now. I hope you will be able to share some programs held in your school. Do write to me as soon as possible about your school programs. I'm looking forward to receiving a reply from you. Do write and let me know about your school events. I'm waiting patiently for your reply. Do write to me when you have time. Take care. I hope you will reply soon. Bye for now. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. We have reached the end of our lesson for today, and just now we did a discussion on a trial paper from the year 2020. So I hope you have learned a lot and will benefit from this video. So thank you, and then I'm Madam Gan. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It is called Educator OmniTube. Signing off. Bye bye. See you again in the next lesson.